Everybody's. So, can you hear me? Hear me okay? Question. Okay. Sup, Soroto? Forgot the main thing to do. Got the tweet. How you been, man? Ah, Really? Oh, bring. Yeah, I saw what you said. You posted on the Discord. That is one. Hmm. I mean, I'm down for that. Posted the thing about doing like a Discord discussion. But anyways, like let's put on. I got just the thing. You know, yesterday was the Reddit thing, right? It is. It's cutting. Let's see. Much. Let me check. Yeah. Okay, let me just check this out. Let me just restart the stream just in case. That always happens, man. Let me just wait. Am I good now? Okay, something's up with my headset, I think. Anyways, I have to get that fixed. Escucho, gracias. Qué bueno, gracias. Pero nada, I'm gonna put some good music. Okay, something's up with my headset, I think. Anyways, I have to get that fixed. Oh wow, you guys are getting hell of an echo now. Korean. Any Guilty Gear fans here? Because I'm a somewhat of a guilty. I'm just gonna put the song because yesterday in the Reddit thing I put the Eddie song. Love that song. Anyways, so here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Moment of truth. So let me know if anything's more louder than me. Like if the song is too loud, just let me know. Wow, for Honda. Such a biased person. Obviously you're gonna root for Honda. Anyways, let's go into it. So let's go into it. Favorable matchups for FANG. I'm not gonna put him in any particular order because I just feel like it's not really a big deal, depending. So I'm just gonna do what I think is best. So, okay, favorable matchups. Abigail starts with an A. So well, yeah. That is a definitely favorable matchup for FANG. Honda, I consider it also. I'll just go into why these matchups are favorable with each one that I put up. So Abigail, ever since he came out, like when he was busted, I guess you could say it was evenish, even though FANG kind of technically won. Because the thing is that he's a big character, to be honest. He's a 4-framer, so you can take advantage of a lot of the things versus him. Even when he was cheap, hey, thanks for the follow. Even when he was cheap, even so, you could coward crouch his down forward fierce, you know, the unblockables and all that. You could just coward crouch through it. He really didn't have an answer for the pressure. You could zone him out pretty well. Stand medium kick buffered into Sotoya after throw techs. You know that Abigail would just go for the jab. Not even after the throw tech. You could just in neutral just buffer it because it wasn't easy to hit him out of it. So, I mean, honestly, I just feel that's the matchup in itself wasn't really that hard. Like obviously, if he gets the V trigger activation and stuff, but with the nerfs that he's gotten, he's really not. I don't think he's challenging enough for how do I say this, for Fang as much. So he definitely got toned down. That helped Fang a lot. Fang keeps getting buffed, but the buffs are never as significant as I would want. So, but still, it's a favorable matchup for Fang. I would consider heavily favorable in an opinion. Um, heavily favorable. Heavily. I mean, favorable. I think Honda is another matchup that many Fang players agree that it's favorable. Some have had their hard times, but I think it's more because of lack of knowledge within the matchup. Like Honda, how can I say this? A lot of people don't pay attention, and Olivo's in this chat. Olivo can obviously agree to this. A lot of people really don't lab against Honda as much because I would see Olivo like post things that are relatively unsafe on Honda or that are bad for Honda, and I literally watch what he posts because obviously I'm interested. And Honda just seems like a character that just, whether in neutral, like he has to take so many risks just to get in on Fang that it's really can't do that much. Like headbutt, medium headbutt, you can punish it with crouch strong. That's not a big deal. Let me just have the OST playing. Have it running like that. So, right? Medium headbutt is punishable with crouch strong because it moves forward 6 frames. Butt slam in general, only like EX butt slam, right? If you block it, you can't carry crouch because of the block stun. But if you're able to, how do I say this? If you're able to make it whiff, like I'll usually be crouching versus Honda players because of the fact that like if they do the EX butt slam and it doesn't hit on because I'm crouching, I'll just carry crouch right after and punish it. That's pretty much the way I feel about it in that sense. Neutral isn't really that hard, I feel, for Fang. It's harder for Honda because of the fact that he has to commit. He needs EX meter to actually get things started, like EX headbutt, random jumps from time to time. His forward roundhouse can help a bit with spacing, but just as soon as you put a Rio Benda, it's like he doesn't really have that many good options to like deal with that. The pressure, obviously, he's a 4-framer. Same as Abigail. He has to take a lot of the pressure from Fang as soon as he starts blocking. Fang is multi-hit. If you manage to set up the crouch medium kicks, EX headbutt's not going to be able to hit you. There are a lot of things to take into account when you're playing versus Honda, in my opinion. Just let me know if the sound is still good, because I'm not sure. So if by any chance something's happening with the sound, just let me... He's a 4-framer? That 4-frame doesn't... I know that 4-frame is pretty bad. So he's a 5. He's a 5-framer. But you still have a 4-frame move, so you can still consider that as part of. So to me, that's not a big deal. And oh wait, sorry, had the stream going. My bad. Let's see, another favorable matchup. When I see favorable, these are like probably 6-4 matchups. I don't think Fang has a 7-3 favorable matchup. Not even Honda. Like Honda can still like bring back a match. I feel Karen is also favorable for Fang. It's a matchup that he can pretty much hold his own in neutral. She kind of has to take risks a bit, technically. But all in all, like you can just zone her out. Obviously, she has her options. She has her Visco 1 for Rio Bendas. She also has her Resenha to go over. But within that, like it's things that she really has to be paying attention on. I think that her best counter to Fang in neutral is her shoulder, because she can actually shoulder on reaction versus Rio Bendas, and it's a legit punish. Like it doesn't even trade. just beats it completely. So in that sense, I honestly think that that Karen does have her options. Her jump arcs, like the jumping normals that she don't have like a downward angle, so it's easier for Fang to actually like anti-air. It's not that hard for Fang to anti-air many of her things. Um, let me. I mean, honestly, there's really not that much. Like, obviously, she has her damage. Like, the only thing that Fang lacks, like every one of his 6-4 favorable matchups can technically sometimes go to hell. Like as soon as they pop B trigger or they get that high damage, because it's something that Fang lacks. Like Fang lacks damage. He has relatively good ways to get some damage, but it's not compared to all of the other characters. Like they get way too much damage off of any. So like obviously he beats Abigail, he beats Honda, but Honda does an insane amount of damage. So, but to me, like a random jump or a random read to me doesn't justify like a full influence in a matchup. It's like, oh yeah, but if I get one jump, then the matchup is in my favor. That's not a way I value a match. I apologize, but I cannot make the list. Ask me. Cell phone. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, that's cool. So yeah. Okay. Next favorable matchup. Let me see. I'm watching here. Um how favorable? I saw Sega Patch post Evil Ryu, but I'm not sure about that one. Like Kage, I said Evil Ryu, Kage. I mean, Zangief is no longer favorable. I completely disagree on putting Geef as a favorable matchup. Ever since I played Kichipamu, I totally realized that that is not a favorable matchup. So I guess I would have to say that a favorable matchup. I mean, Sagat, he has a hard time dealing with Fang, but I usually feel like his game plan should rely on the high fireball because of the fact that it goes over carpets. Fang can't really like don't Rio Bendas. Like he doesn't have to because he can just like command dash constantly. But I just feel like if the it's favorable for Fang, but I feel like if the Sagat player is really cautious and has good reactions, like punishing the Nishikyus, like you can Kara DP every time you see a Nishikyu if you're like good at reactions. Like I would play Hamad and the matchup would not seem that favorable. Like I feel Fang does have an advantage in the matchup, but it's not like a big advantage. So and Fang doesn't have that many favorable matchup. Like favorable like a 6-4. I can't like say that he has like a bunch, you know? I know, I know, I know. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Let's see who else. Mika did become way favorable with her nerfs. Like I would always put her like slightly favorable for Fang, but she's gotten so many nerfs recently and you know that one of the counters Fang would have for her splat, her Mika bomb I think it's called. I'm not sure what it's called, but it used to be jump strong. You could jump strong just to like avoid it, but you would like obviously lose the neutral. Like you would just get far away. But now, since you can cancel into flight, it's like it's a really good option. So you can just take advantage of that like a hella fast. Um. So yeah, Mika's favorable. You can actually counter crouch most of the stuff she does. Uh. Balrog. I honestly don't know if to put him slightly favorable or not, because to me, Urian, I used to put Urian super favorable, but I think like it's slightly favorable, and maybe it's even. I'm gonna put these guys here because with the changes to the V skill 2 for Urian changed a lot for him, but I honestly sometimes wonder if V skill 1 for Urian is actually better. Because V skill 1, the armor, like you can armor through Ryobendas, you can armor through Nishikyu, you can armor through a bunch of stuff. Like, you know what? And Sagat, it's like I'm saying, like if the Sagat is really good at zoning, I just feel like Fang doesn't have like extremely favorable matchups. No? I don't consider Birdie favorable. Also, like I saw that they put him favorable. I don't know if I haven't played Birdies as like if you ask me Birdie before season 5, I would say Birdie wins. The nerfs that he got, I don't know how significant they have been in the matchup. But if you ask me, Mena's not using Birdie anymore, so I guess that's a favorable matchup now. Mena, whoever can discuss this with me, I will say this every single time. Mana as a Birdie player is the one that I feel best plays the Fang match. And I know Fang players have played him when I went to EVO Japan. He played with Mochan, Torihat, and myself, all three. He's played with numerous Fang players before, and I think I've beaten him with Birdie a set like once, maybe twice. That's about it. Every other time I've lost. So I don't know if the changes to him have been significant. So I'm really not. Now, slightly favorable matchups. I would consider Cody as favorable for Fang to a certain extent. Because of the fact like he does have his punishes. Like he can do what is it? The Ruffian kicks. Ruffian kicks. He can always do the Ruffian kicks at any point. The medium one I think it is, or the heavy one. Yeah, the heavy one to go over the Ryobenda. But that's something that you can actually bait also. So it's not really, it's not something you can be too confident about. That's my opinion on that. Like, the matchup is slightly favorable because he doesn't really have that many things to do. He doesn't really have that many advantages to do stuff against. Let's see. I mean, as soon as he has V trigger, the command grab is a problem. It's relatively easy to get out of the pressure. You can V reversal on the EX Sonk, so it's not like a big thing. You don't really need to rely on V trigger to beat him also, so it's not really a big thing. What else? Other matchups. I'm looking here. Let's see. Yeah, there was one that I do agree. I do agree with Vega Patch with Lucia. Like I've played Lucia. She has good buttons. She has good normals. She has relatively good zoning, but I feel Fang like covers a lot of her stuff. Like she doesn't really have a way. Like Fang can punish pretty easily from afar. In regards to pressure, she really doesn't have that many options. You can coward crouch her DP, her EX DP as well, so you can bait it out. Her jumpings, it's fairly easy to anti-her. Her run stop, her run kicks, like you can punish them on block. Usually, unless if they like know how to like space it out really well. What else? What else? What else? Still thinking of. Yeah, that's true. The high kick for Cody, that can actually hit. Other matchups that I think slightly favorable. Like, okay, Kage, he put him that it was favorable. I would say slightly favorable. No? Slightly favorable because of the simple fact that I use V skill 2 versus Kage. Okay, so I use V skill 2. because of the simple fact that he can't do stomp mix-ups. I use V-Skill 2 versus Necalli as well, because at least you get to limit that fake pressure bullshit. So he doesn't get to get a lot of mileage from that. Gil. Who else? Who else here? I could see Fog. Like there are a few things that when I saw the tier list, I did agree with a lot of the things that Vega Patch posted. Just like I would say, like maybe 5 to 6 matchups. I felt like I would slightly say something different, but that's about it. But on the slightly favorable matchups, he wasn't too off. Like a lot of the ones that he finds favorable are relatively favorable in my opinion. The only one I was not so sure if to put it even or not is Colleen. I'm gonna say Birdie. You know what? I'm gonna say Birdie's even because of the nerfs to the anti-air. I think that was one of the main problems. But because I can tell you that I have not played Birdies as much season 5 to the extent that I could say, oh, these nerfs really made it Fang's favors. Because the thing is that what made the matchups easier for Fang was when they gave him the dash. They gave him the air dash. You could get out of the pressure when he would like the setups into throws. He could do the setups into throw, right? The command, like Birdie, when he had Fang in the corner, that was horrible because you couldn't jump because he could just throw mix up, and then if you jump, he gets the crouch strong, then he would back throw, or then he would command grab, or then it was so bad. And then when they gave him the air dash, it was slightly better, but he still had Bullhorn, he still had EX chain, he still had so many other things to like work around. And now he got like additional nerfs, including the anti-air that was really good for it. Because in season 4 we didn't have to deal as much with the anti-air crouch strong because of the flight. But now there are too many moments where we can actually jump for free on so considering these matchups, I'm gonna put, I know I'm talking about Birdie, and Birdie's even. Birdie's even. I'm gonna put him even. Because I really, like, I have it. Honestly, when I play Mena, like a long set, I'll be able to tell you, like, okay, it's Fang's favor now because I kid you not, he's the only person that I would see play with Birdie that would consistently beat every single Fang player he would play. To a point that I used to think the matchup was in Fang's favor because I would beat, I would do well with other Birdies. Like, I would do well. Like, I can't say I beat all of them, but I would not think, oh, this is a bad matchup up until I played Mena. That's the honest truth. Okay, so Gil, slightly in Fang's favor. You can always punish the Lariats, right? They're -6. His zoning, his zoning with the fireballs is good, but and the fact that he can go behind it, well, yeah, that's really good as well. I'm not sure what else to think about that matchup in particular. The knee, you can actually anti-air the same thing with Urian. Like, they both have the knee press, and you can do crouch medium kick on both. So I don't think, and the parry doesn't really, like, okay, he can parry a lot of the things, but you can bait the parry so well. Your jump-ins are a bit uncomfortable for him at times to anti-air. You have the flight, so it's harder for him to sometimes track you down. I think that mostly, I think pretty much it. Colleen, I'm gonna say she's even. I already explained Birdie why I think he's even for now. Like, when I play Mena, I might change this. Sorry. But so far I feel Colleen's even because, like, she has good spacing. She can whiff punish a lot versus Fang. Her stand strong actually can go over Ryobendas when you place them in. When she's in V trigger, you have to respect a lot from her. When she's taking pressure from Fang, her backdash is really good. What else can I say about her? The double jump isn't as annoying as you would think. She does have her V reversal. Like, if you get too caught up in doing Ryobenda strings or doing a light Ryobenda and she V reversal, it's a free punish. So I don't know. I think I'll put even. Now here we're going to go for a lot of even matches because now you're going to see that Fang just has a bunch of even. So let's go with that. So Lara is an even matchup. You can keep her away pretty much easily. You can technically, at some specific ranges, you can jump on her with jump roundhouse. She can't really do much. Yeah, he does get a nice trade combo with the hail strings, but I can't say it's like completely over for Fang. It's just you can't commit to anything when she's in V trigger. I mean, you shouldn't. Okay, V trigger is a huge factor in this game for every character, but you shouldn't rely a whole matchup on a V trigger because, and people are gonna argue with me over this one, but I do not think, and I'm sorry, you guys are gonna, I'm probably gonna get shit for this. I do not think that G is an unfavorable match. I think it's relatively even. It goes both ways. I've played G players. I've lost and won, but I never feel it's overwhelmingly at a disadvantage for me. The only moments where G actually takes an advantage over Fang, and G players will try to do this, is when they're in level 2. When they're in level 2 presidential, the fireball is a big nuisance versus Fang. I'll admit that much. But G is a 4-framer. G does have the instant overhead on Fang. He has it on Urien. That's a bonus for G, right? It's extra damage. It's an extra guess for Fang players. You have to guess more. But it's not that easy for G to get in on Fang. Fang can keep the pressure going on G. You can whiff punish G relatively well. His jumps, you can anti-air them pretty well. When he's in V-trigger, if he cancels anything into the V-skill ball in V-trigger, you can, like, if he does like a normal and he cancels in like the low rush or whatever, you can V-reversal. It's a free punish. If he does the ball in the air to try to like create the space, you can command dash under. He's completely vulnerable. You can get a full punish as soon as he lands. Like, it's not even a big deal, you know? You can get a punish there. What else does he have? Like, you can carrot crouch the wheel kicks. You can carrot crouch wheel kicks. So you can technically, like, I usually set up to bait because as soon as they see a Ryobenda or an EX Ryobenda, they will automatically go for the wheel kick. Usually. That usually happens every single time. You carrot crouch it, you can still beat him out. Doesn't have like a guaranteed way to deal with zoning. One thing you can never do on G, you can never do this. Never do a block string into Ryobenda on block on ever. Because he can always do stand jab into low rush. It's guaranteed. You can always do that. You can space it as well as you want. I think crouch strong into medium is okay, but you can never do fierce. Never do fierce. Like, I sometimes would try to bait him because you know that if you delay the Ryobenda, you would catch him counter hit, but the risk is so great that I just don't do it anymore at all. I just do light Ryobenda all the time. He has to deal with the pressure. He's a 4-framer. If you do roundhouse, right? If you do roundhouse and you'd go for another roundhouse and he backdashes, he'll always get hit by the second roundhouse, by the second hit of the roundhouse on the ground, and you get a crouch strong. That's a free punish. I think it's even. I think it's even. Alex, I think it's an even matchup. Well, I used to think it was in his favor. Not so much anymore. Like, he can do roundhouse. He can do like a bunch of things. So in this one, I agree with Vega Patch. So far, let me see in what I have disagreed so far. Let me check out his. Okay, favorable matchup. He has Kage and Gil. He has them like really favorable. And I put Mika and Karen. Karen is a strong character. I get that, but even like I would hear even Punk, like, and Punk's a player that he plays Karen, and he would still say this even before this season, or he would say, Fang beats a Karen. And to be honest, like, Fang does really well even since season 2. Fang has always done relatively well versus Karen, so I do feel it's a favorable matchup. Now Karen's pressure has gone down, Fang has gotten buffs, so I would be fair to say that it's a favorable match for Fang. Just because she's a better character overall, not ignore the fact that Fang does have a favorable. That's what I think. Mika, I feel it's more favorable now than it's ever been because of her nerfs. It used to be slightly favorable for Fang. Now it's completely favorable. Season 1, it was horrible for Fang. That was horrible. But, okay, let's see. Zeku, I think, is even. Sakura. Sakura. I'm going to go with slight disadvantage for Fang. I don't think Sakura's even. I don't. She has, like, how can I say this? It's just that it feels even. It feels even. It does, but there are these one moments like she has that part in the matchup where the charged fireball just gives her too much. Like, I know you can command dash or risk on a jump, but if she's really good at changing the timings on the fireball, I feel like it's difficult. Well, it's really difficult. Depending on the V trigger, the fireball V trigger is really good, but the other V trigger she can actually Tatsu over the Rio Bendas, I think, and she'll hit you out of it. It's a free combo. I don't know. I think Sakura's a slight disadvantage. Let's see. Let's see who else is even. Let's keep watching the even part. Okay. Okay. No. Let's stay in even. Bison isn't even. Okay. Okay. Blanca. I can agree on Blanca. But I'll be honest here. Hey, you know what? I don't see a character here. I don't see Vega. Where's Vega? Wow, this doesn't have Vega. Like, legit. I'm missing characters. What the fuck? Okay. Well, I think Vega... Slight disadvantage. I can't put him here because I don't see him. Damn it. I didn't realize he wasn't here. He's nowhere to be found. Okay. Yeah, I think Ibuki... I don't know, Olivo. I don't know. Like, I know Fang does really well versus Ibuki, but I still feel she can, at any point, turn the tide with EX Kunai. She has the V trigger on stock. She can at least get 2 V triggers per round. It's a good way to punish Fang. Her sweep is really good versus Fang. Her backdash is really good. I don't know. I think Ibuki's a slight disadvantage. I'm not sure if I know she got nerfed. I mean, the V skill did get nerfed, but it's tedious. This is all tedious for me to think about, you know? Um, let's see who else. Zeku, Zeku's even. Zeku, I think, is even. Like, you can do relatively well. You can zone him out. But young Zeku, man, I don't want to. I don't want to downplay Fang, but I was just thinking of young Zeku, and then I remembered a buff to the V trigger too. I'm not sure if Zeku players are using V trigger 2 now more versus Fang since it got buffed and stuff. Uh, if you could put if I could just divide both Zekus and just put young and old, I would put old Zeku favorable, young Zeku. So let's leave it at even. Leave it at even for now, but uh, ah, I'll go back to this soon. I'll go back to this. I can't put him here. Okay. Yeah, let me just do this. My boy. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so slight disadvantage. Dhalsim, slight disadvantage. Nobody is gonna convince me that that matchup is. I'm sorry. I mean, I've tried to, to understand this with people, but I do not feel. I do not feel Sim is even, and Sim players agree. Some Fang players agree that Sim has a slight advantage. I get the part that Fang. This is what I was saying earlier. Like, but if this character gets a jump in, like, the momentum is for this character is so good that it could be a bad matchup all of a sudden. And I don't like thinking of it like that. I know that when Fang gets in on Sim, it's really hard for Sim to get out. Like the pressure's free. I know. Fang can't stop drills. You can't do Rio Bendas. If the Sim is literally, this is what I've always said. If Sim plays only reactive based, like I'll just wait for Fang to do anything and I'll react to that. If the Sim plays only like that, I do not see Fang winning the matchup. He can punish V skill with strong. He can punish your Rio Bendas. If you do a Rio Benda string, which you should never do, he gets the trade roundhouse into strong. If you do random up balls, he can do teleport on reaction. If he's floating, you can't commit because you never know if he's waiting for that. Gale pressure is really good. I don't know. I don't think it's favorable. I don't think it's even. I don't think it's even at all. I think Bison is slight disadvantage. I would say that seasons before, I might say that it was Fang and Bison even because it used to depend on who would get the momentum first. But now I'm not so sure, man. Like Bison, I mean, you can whiff punish better, but I'm not sure if that's enough to say that. I'm not sure if that's enough to say like, yeah, Fang win for sure. I feel Bison wins versus versus Fang. Not by a lot. It's I wouldn't even say it's a 6 point. I wouldn't even say it's a 5.5. It's like a 5.2. Like it's not that easy. But it's definitely disadvantage. I think Chun Li. I don't know why some Chun Li players actually think that Fang wins or it's even. I honestly feel like from season one, like I'm trying to think season one Chun. Season one Chun, she had the instant legs. She had the, but Chun Li. Let me tell you why I think Chun Li is still bad. Kikoken, it's like a mini Sonic Boom. That's not really the big factor. Stan Roundhouse is extremely good versus Fang. She can hit you with a roundhouse round one start. If you do a Ryobenda, roundhouse will hit you. If you do Nishikyu, she can hit you. And in some cases, she will not even trade with the Nishikyu. She will not trade with the Nishikyu if she does the roundhouse right. At worst, she'll trade with one Nishikyu, so you don't get anything off. Her jumps, she can bait your anti-airs if she's good at it. She can use the stomp, and it will bait your anti-air, and it will actually beat it. That's I feel if you do any strings into carpet, if she's crouching, you have to be careful because of the simple fact that she can just medium spinning bird kick, and she goes over the Ryoben. What else can I say about her? She has really good buttons. Fang can contest on the ground with most of her buttons. Fang can contest, but with her roundhouse, it's so annoying. Her backdash is relatively good. Her crouching short is good as well. Like at some points, she'll get the crouch short because her hurt box just shrinks. One other thing you cannot do if Chun-Li's crouching and you catch her with a carrot crouch, you cannot do the string into. You cannot do jab 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 fierce. Her hurt box is different when she's crouching. There's a few things you can't land on her. She has EX legs, 5-frame punish. She's one of the few characters that can actually punish down forward fierce with no problem. I don't know. I just feel like I just feel like there's not that many Chun-Li players playing the Fang matchup as much. I feel like more Chun-Li players lose because of not knowing the matchup rather than, oh, Fang does really well or Fang is even. It's the same with Honda matchups. Like Olivo can tell you, like there's some people that put Honda as a bad matchup in some matchups that Honda players would be like, hell no, that's not a bad matchup. That's a, you know, there's some of those points. Yeah, I think Chun-Li wins too. Okay. Zangief. I'm gonna put Zangief as slightly disadvantaged because I still feel Fang can do enough. I still feel Fang can do enough in that matchup. I don't think it's completely horrible. I played Kichipamua first to 10. I kid you not. I have played Mike Too Strong. I have played, and I have been even with Geefs. I've lost, I've won. Ichipamu, I could not even touch him. And I actually asked him, dude, what do you think of this matchup? And it's like, Geef wins. And he has no problem with Japanese Fangs. Japanese Fangs agree that Geef is a bad matchup. So, I don't know. He can, okay. Armor. You can't carrot crouch on him, has armor. But all Fangs know this. You can't carrot crouch on Geef. That's one. Geef Stand Strong got buffed. If the Geef is mostly just playing the footsie game, he can literally whiff punish Stand Strong with no problem. That's what Ichibamu will do. The jump short, it's hard to deal with it when you're trying to anti-air. The most consistent anti-air you will have versus Geef is going to be stand medium kick. Because you will avoid the mix-up of the jump short whiff. That's the best anti-air. And the thing is that one of the good buffs that Fang got is that you can now special cancel the second hit. So you can anti-air into command dash for pressure. You can anti-air, and if you're blocking, you can set up a trap. You know, you can shut up Rio Venda. That's good. But once this is the part. You know, when I was saying like, oh, but if you get that random jump or whatever, the only reason people would think that Fang would beat Geef is because he has a slow walk speed. So you would be like, okay, he has a slow walk speed. He has to take medium Nishikyus all day. That's like a given. You can medium Nishikyu all day, all day, all day. Nothing happens, right? He'll armor it. He'll get the V-trigger if he wants, but you get to get those random hits. You get those hits. You get to slowly whittle his life away. And that's good. But he has enough life to take all this. He has life to spare. He can jump 4 times. 7 times. 10 times. Doesn't really matter. He's not dead still, no matter how many anti-airs you get. If he gets one command grab, one heavy or EX command grab, the possibilities of you getting out of those situations is horrible. Fang does not have a good reversal that avoids throws. His V reversal, if baited, can be punished with another SPD. If you block, good luck. Like you really don't have an answer. If you jump, you have too much of a floaty jump, so he's gonna EXS air SPD. Like Fang's jump is it's just some matchups. That's why I feel Geef, like if Geef gets one, and this would happen with Kichipamu. Get one command grab. And there were matches where I literally could not do anything. And he at some point mentioned something about an option select. He didn't explain it, but he said that there was an option that Geef had that if you would block or if you would V reversal, you would still get a punish. If you command dash, you would still. So I'm like, you know what? This is a bad matchup. Forget it. Kichipamu, I trust Kichipamu. I trust Kichipamu. Best Geef. I trust him. Okay. Slight disadvantage. Slight disadvantage. I can agree that Nash is a slight disadvantage. I think he still can like work around, play his game. He doesn't his way of playing the Fang matchup hasn't changed. Like, he pretty much dominates really well with his boom. His in and out. His back. Like, his runaway game is good versus Fang. His anti-airs are really good versus Fang. His V reversal, you can punish it with with Sotoya, right? You can autocorrect Sotoya and beat it. Yeah, that's good. But he's relatively good, you know? In that matchup, I don't see him struggling. The Sonic Boom bait into the Scythe, you can't deal with that. Like, legit, you set up Carpet, and you have to be wary that he can just Sonic Boom the Scythe. Like, he can Sonic Boom the Carpet, and then after that, he can just Scythe. V-Trigger is a huge thing. As soon as he has it, you have to worry about that as well. So, honestly, it's slight disadvantage for Fang. Akuma. I would say it used to be unfavorable by a lot. The nerfs have actually helped. His nerfs helped a lot. Activation gone. That is... Oh my god. That is so good. Everybody celebrated that shit. Forget it. No, I don't think it's 6-4 Fang. At the slightest, I can put it even, but I'm not gonna say Fang wins. Fang does not win that match. Like a real good Nash player, and Dominion used to play Nash, so he can tell you from experience because he plays Fang as well. Nash Fang isn't that easy for Fang. I remember when Nash got nerfed, Infiltration would still pick Nash versus Fang. I remember that. I was like, but you know who else is bad for Fang? Who else is bad? But this one's bad. And this one, Dominions are going to agree. I'm going to put him here. I'm going to talk about him soon. He's a matchup that Fang loses. And I still have an Ed player here that discusses that. Okay, slight disadvantage. I can see Poison. I can agree with Poison. And not... she did get her nerfs. I'll give her that. It used to be worse. It used to be a 6-4. Actually, no. When Menat was at her peak, 2-bar B trigger, all of her normals were super good. She had just gotten the orb explosion. I would say it was a 7-3. I would honestly say it was a 7-3 for Fang. That matchup was horrible. Now it's slightly disadvantaged. I will not say it's even, and I will not say Fang wins. Because just the archetype of the character, you're losing already. Like, she doesn't have a hurt box on strong. And I don't know. I played who was this? ZYC? The Menat player from, is he from Korea or Taiwan? Do you remember what was the name of the Menat player that qualified in the LCQ for Capcom Cup? ZYZ? Okay, let me see. Yeah, Menat was horrible in season 3. Yeah, see, okay, ZYZ, yeah. Bridget. Well, honestly, like, okay, I mean, okay, Metal Gear Solid. Okay, let's try to run down the matchup with Menat. Let's try to pick it out piece by piece. She doesn't have. Let's start with the basic part. She doesn't have a hurt box on her strong and on her fear. Carpets are not viable as much. Like, you have to be really good and cautious with your spacing carpets. She also has drills. It's not as oppressive as Sim. I'll get that. I'll give you that. But still problems nonetheless. She can zone pretty well with the orb. You can dash in when she does the orb, but it's still technical. You can pretty much avoid chip damage, because when she blows up the orb, you can do light Nishikyu. It'll, like, the orb will cancel out with the ball. You can actually time it so that you can do heavy ball, and when she blows it up, like, the other up ball is still on her. You can do that as well. There's so many things that are like, but if you V-skill, if she's cautious, she can stand strong on V-skill. Her crouching jab can interrupt most of the attempts that you try to get in. Powered crouch pressure, like, it's the same as Sim. It's the same as Sim. As soon as Fang gets started, it's hard for her to keep him out. I will give you that. I will give you. It's hard for Menat to keep Fang out. But contrary to Sim, she has a 3-frame. Contrary to Sim, she has a 3. She has a dive kick that she can just eventually use, and even if it's light, just to get out, she can do it. Her V reversal puts her on the other side. You can punish it. You can punish it. Of course, you can punish it. But no, I know you can punish the V reversal, no problem. But that's what I'm saying. Like when you start to measure a lot of the options, FANG can beat her, but I feel like FANG has to switch up or change his common style that he uses versus most of the cast. Like to me, this is a way I view matchups. If a matchup causes me to change the general playstyle of my character, it is technically considered a bad matchup. Like Bison Street Fighter 4. There were matchups that you could not play Bison. You could not play Bison like you wanted, like at all. Like he would play a lot of matchups in one way, but these specific matchups he can't. And automatically, if it's an uncomfortable matchup, it's not favorable because the Menat player does not have to change your style. FANG does. And that's why I feel like it's slightly disadvantaged. Okay, matches that he loses. Okay, matches that he loses. Guile. No doubt. Okay, let's talk about Ed. Let's talk about Ed. Like I put Ed, but I didn't talk about Ed. V-Skill 1 actually, which is the matchup? I mean, lame her out. Okay, I'm reading what you're saying. Okay, you get to lame her out. No, you can still whiff punish with EX Sotoya. I know that, but you need meter. You need meter. You know, it's things that you depend on having meter. I'm like off the bat, she actually doesn't win. Like you're saying, V-Skill 1 and timed up balls beat orbs. Yeah, exactly. We both agree that we know the options that FANG has versus. Yeah, Ed is free. Ed, Dominion is clear. We would talk about this. Yeah. Ed definitely wins the matchup versus FANG. And I wish, you know what, Olivo, speed dial him now. Tell Fonzie to get in this chat right now. I need him to talk to Dominion on the chat. We're going to do this right now. I'm going to call him in Spanish. You guys are going to hear me in Spanish. I'm going to call this Ed player who says redundantly so that Ed loses to FANG. So I need him to get on the phone. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. You're gonna hear a little bit of Spanish mono for a little sec. Hopefully he answers. Doesn't bitch out. Let me see. Let's see. We're doing the call. We're doing. Come on, make my day, bro. Make my night. It's an important night. It's a FANG matchup night. Come on. Fonzie, why you do this? Disappointing the crowd that's watching. Ah, my God. Just gonna leave the message in Spanish. No hablo, ok. Fonzie, ¿estás escuchando este mensaje? Yo estoy streameando ahora mismo. Estoy aquí en el chat discutiendo los matchups de FANG. Aquí está Dominion, panita fuerte, que usa Ed. Y aquí hay varios FANG players. Aquí está Metal Queer Solid, está Siroto, hay un par de gente, está Olivo. Y aquí todo el mundo está redundantemente diciendo con una potestad y fundamento que Ed le gana a FANG. Solamente quiero que lo sepa. Aquí hay mucha gente viéndolo. Esto va a estar grabado en el stream. We're gonna clip this. Lo vamos a clipear. Para que tú sepas, porque en esta parte que yo estoy clipeando, tú vas a poder ver los mensajes de Dominion diciendo que Ed wins 6-4. So, hope you enjoy your time. Stop bitching about Ed versus FANG, because Ed wins. Just need to play it better. You can call Dominion. Dominion, you can speed dial him if you want. Okay, eso es todo, eso es todo. Comprendo español un poquito. Yes, gracias, Dominion. I really appreciate it. Okay, why does Ed win? I'm pretty sure we all know why Ed wins. Number 1, projectile. Extremely good. Extremely good. Okay, thanks for the follow. Wait, let me see. I don't know why I'm not getting the alerts. I'm getting so mad at this right now. Like, it's been a while since I've done the whatever, but like, I'm not. Yeah, I need to check this out. Give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec. Getting mad. I need to give a holler. I need to give a holler to the follows. I'm sorry. It's gonna be really quick. It's gonna be really quick. Because I don't know why the alerts aren't coming up. I don't know why. Oh, send it. Here we go. Oh, Diminion, thanks for the follow. What? Oh, WM Fang, thanks for the follow. 3 Canal, thanks for the follow. And Lopez Skyway. And there's a Naruto Ace 00125. Okay, thanks for the follow. I don't know what's up with my notifications. They're not showing up in the alerts. I have not streamed in weeks, so I'm pretty sure that, and my computer got fixed. I was resetting a lot of the stuff, so I need to get back on that. So okay, let's go back. Let's go back to where we were. So okay. Hey, Demon Dan. I gotta admit, I love Demon Dan's videos. And I know, see, Havoc, okay, Demon Dan, Havoc just at you at the chat because he's a fan. He's a fan of your artwork. He's a fan of your Alex. He's one of those guys. So yeah. Okay, let's go back. Ed. Reason why he's a really bad matchup. Fireball, number one thing. Fireball. Goes over carpets, you can never carpet. Period. You can never carpet. But Fang can deal with the fireball with one thing. If you time Nishikyus as soon as like the fireball's gonna hit, because it has a big hitbox, like the fireball is pretty big. You can time that. This is what I do in the matchup. This is what I do. I will eventually, like, I'll whiff throws or I'll do a carpet, and I will time my heavy Nishikyu or medium Nishikyu so that one of them cancels out versus you have to practice this because it's right when it's about to hit. One will cancel out with the fireball and the other one will go forward. This will avoid Ed from getting too close, because if Ed does the fireball and you do the medium Nishikyu and he's trying to dash in, because that's what Ed will do. Ed will do the fireball, dash in, because Ed can dash in, dash out whenever he wants on Fang. He'll always be like, it's like Nash, technically. It's like Nash, but way worse, because he has a fireball that you can't really get rid of. You have to either command dash it, you have to jump it, or you have to time the Nishikyu, but you have to be charging. If you want the Nishikyu, you have to be charging. So that's part of the thing. Like, it's something just to deal with it a bit. I'm not saying that it's a favorable thing, but if you have the meter, you can actually EX command dash to start your pressure. Okay, his backdash is extremely good. His backdash, he can just backdash about everything. Stand roundhouse into jab. I think he got nerfed slightly on the backdash, but I still think that in most cases he can backdash the jab and it'll win. Like, you really have to commit. You can carrot crouch his charged punch, but to be honest, there is no reason for Ed to ever charge this completely. There's no reason. Because Fang, that's like, hey Fang, this is a bad matchup, but I want to give you a break. You know, I really think you deserve this. Let me just give you some free damage, just like make it interesting. But what Ed should be doing is mostly charging it just slightly and just throwing it out. V-skill 1, V-skill 1. V-skill 1, V-skill 2 is kind of good. Like, I've seen V-skill 2 work, but I still prefer V-skill 1. Ed, V-skill 1 goes through the carpet. It doesn't just cancel the carpet. It goes through it and it hits you. That's already super bad. That's already super bad. That he can go through it and hit you. So that to me is like, okay. The kicks, really good anti-air. I don't think that's much. Like, Fang doesn't really have to jump on Ed, but I guess you will eventually jump on Ed because fireball. So you can't neutral jump fireballs because you can actually dash up and do the kick. Stand medium kick is super good. Stand medium kick. You can't Ryobenda in neutral when he's close because he can stand medium kick. His flicker jab pressure is really good versus Fang. Many of his normals are really good versus Fang. Honestly, man, he just has so many things. V-Trigger 1 or V-Trigger 2, that's relative. I feel V-Trigger 1 is good. I feel V-Trigger 2 is stronger. because of the fact that if he manages to catch you doing anything, then he gets the, oh, what's it called? The psycho hook, whatever. I'm not psycho snatcher. If he lands that shit, too bad. Good damage. You can V reversal and get a punish, but that's rough. But it's okay. Yeah, but wait. Wait. What are you guys talking about? 3-frame. Wait. You deserve this free 255 damage. Don't need to charge it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. You don't ever need to charge it at all. That's a free punish for Fang. You're never gonna do it. Okay. Okay. I'm pretty sure we narrowed down Ed pretty well, right? Ed is really bad. Ed is really bad. Guile is even worse. Guile, the reason why Guile is so bad is because he always has an EX Fireball. The V skill that he has in this matchup is so bad. Like I don't know. I've heard I have heard 1 or 2 Guile players say, "Oh, but V skill 2 also works on Fang." I still think V skill 1 is way better versus Fang because it's an EX Fireball every single time. You have to deal with that. You have to deal with that every single time. So I personally think that the fact that he has a EX Fireball with no meter, that's super bad. His normals, really good. Sonic Booms, like you have to think about so many scenarios when he does one skill boom. So let me narrow it down. If he does heavy V skill boom, okay, you can command dash. You can command dash, right? Wait, Akainu thinks this matchup is 6-4 Fang? I completely disagree. I completely disagree. Guile beats Fang 100%. Like, okay, like if he does Fierce Boom, okay, it's an easy command dash, he's not going to punish. If he does Medium Boom, depending on the space where you are, like if you're really far, you can't command dash it. He's going to punish it. If you're mid-screen, you can command dash it, no worries. Light, V-Skill Boom. This is a problem. This is a problem. You can light Ryobenda, it's a 2-hit. Ryobenda, but he's already in your face because he's walking behind. He can usually walk behind the boom. As soon as you do an attempt, he can punish your command dash. He can jump behind it. He can just wait for you to block it because you're like, okay, I can't command dash because he's going to punish it. So let me block. It's a free jump. The free jump for him then. Block. So what I do, if he does light Sonic Boom, I'll wait just a little. I'll wait just a little for the boom to get close, relatively close, and I'll do either light or medium Nishikyu. That's pretty much all you can do. Why? Because what will happen is he won't jump because the Nishikyu's there. But you'll end up blocking the boom. That's a given. Or you might be able to command dash through. You might be able to command dash through because there's a fireball. Like it's gonna make him respect a bit. But it's not enough. Like you have to have that spacing so narrowed down, and it's not even a game changer. It really isn't. It's not even a game changer. So V-Skill Boom is super bad for Fang. Flash Kick has stupid range. Like sometimes you'll try to bait him out. Like Light Ryobenda baits out the Flash Kicks at certain ranges, but still, can't really do much. The matchup, Fang can hold his own. Like I'm not gonna say he can't. Fang can hold his own versus Guile. Like I've played Kaba, I've been able to beat Kaba, and I've lost to Kaba, and we've gone even, and you don't see. And when we play, the matchup is not always like a steamroll. Like it's a 3-2 or a 2-1 or a 3-1 maybe. But you see the matchup and it's not. And honestly, I've been switching. I used to play V-Skill 1 versus Guile. Because V-Skill 1, you could poison him. And now when it became a projectile, you could use it versus Boom. But what I hate about V-Skill 1 is that the timer has not been reverted to Season 1. I still think that is a crucial change that V-Skill 1, that V-Trigger 1 needs. The reason they had made the timer run faster was because all of us as FANG players would complain that it would just take too damn long and we would not be able to have not one bar of V reversal after V. And that's why they sped it up. But as soon as they gave him the fireball and the fireball consumed V meter, they needed to revert the speed back to C. That's what they needed to do. Because right now you can do 2. Like if you do 2, like if you're trying to play the matchup and just try to cautiously use your V skill, you can only use. If you want to at least maximize your V skill, you do 3 really quick. That's it. So that was a bad part. Like I'm hoping Capcom at some point decides to be like, oh yeah, let's revert that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I don't think they'll do it. So, but V skill 1 is actually relatively good versus V trigger 1, and actually do well versus Gao. V trigger 2, I remember, I think it was Haku or Dusk Games that would tell me that told me this. V trigger 2 works with Gao for one reason. As soon as you activate V trigger 2 and he does a sonic boom, you get to take a turn. Because as soon as the sonic boom's about to hit, you do Nishikyu in V trigger 2. One up ball is gonna cancel out the boom, and the other up ball, it's good. It's get in for free card, technically. Depending where Guile is, because there are some moments where he's baiting that. So you can't really rely on it too much. So V trigger 2 is viable, but to be honest, I'm actually doing another project. Like we're doing this matchup chart, and Demon Dan knows about this if he's still here. I said that I wanted to do like a project with character matchups, way beyond this. I'm gonna be playing the matchups. I'm gonna try to look for specialists within my region to play the matchups in a first attempt, but to break them down. What I'm planning to do. I've already spoken to Kaba because we're gonna play the Gal versus Fang matchup, and I'm gonna use both V triggers because I really need to decide which V trigger is the best one. Because I feel like both V triggers do really. That's what I honestly. Okay, so Gal is bad. Gal is bad. His normals super good. You can't jump on Guile. Jump. Your floaty jump makes it even harder. I will. I can play Juan Farof. Our connection is pretty good. But what I was saying about Gao, the fact that Fang has a floaty jump, and there's one thing I'm gonna take Thursday. On Thursday, I'll talk about this because I honestly think that the concept of Fang, and I'm not gonna say that all of us Fang players include are bad, but I honestly think that the concept of Fang and the playstyle that was intended for Fang, I feel none of us are using it, but it's because I think none of us agree that it's the best one. But I think it was his intended playstyle. I'll talk more about this on Thursday, because today we're focused on this. But I really would like the Fang players to join in on that conversation, because there's one playstyle of Fang that I have dabbled a bit, and honestly, I would always say that if there was one person who could honestly make that style work, it would be. But I'll explain that on Thursday as to why I say that. If you guys are interested, you can watch that on Thursday. Okay, another bad matchup. Okay, new character, but I do agree. New character, but I do agree. Seth is a bad matchup. I agree with it. V-Skill 1 is good versus Fang. Fang can bait it with Light Ryobenda, but still. V-Skill 2 is extremely good versus Fang because as soon as you do one Carpet or one Nishikyu, he can V-Skill DP whenever he wants. So Seth is already a bad matchup. Jaguar kicks. I would crouch a Jaguar kick, but instant Jaguar kick, I tell you as of now, you are not going to coward crouch that shit. Might as well pick V-Skill 2 to deal with Jaguar kick. I honestly would consider V-Skill 2 to deal with Jaguar kick. Because, let's be honest, that is the move that you will most see. Like, Seth has good neutral. His buttons are good or bad sometimes. His Jaguar kick pressure is really hard to anti or consistent. His Tatsu, range on that. So it's a pretty good match. Yeah, I know. You can still bait V-Skill 2 with a light Ryobenda as well. But still. Oh, and if you do it close, yeah. That's true. No, but if you're full screening and if you do the light Ryobenda and he does it, it's a free punish as well. Okay. Ken. I remember that we were talking about this matchup on Twitter and a few people disagreed with me. I'm gonna go over why Ken is a bad. By the way, what happened to the music? Got no more music. Why did the video pause? Okay, we're back. We're back. I get distracted. It's ADD. Okay. Go. Okay, Ken. Why is Ken a bad matchup? Ken is a bad matchup for the following. I will vouch for that till I die. V-Skill 1 is way better as Seth. I mean, I play V-Skill 1 Seth. Like, I play Seth V-Skill 1. I only use V-Skill 2 versus Blanca, Dalsim, and Cammy. I'll only use it on those three so far. I don't know anybody else. Okay, Ken. Why is Ken a bad matchup? Okay. Ken can actually lame out Fang. Did you not? I would really like it if people at some point... I've played the Ken matchup, and if there's one person I can agree that plays it the best, it has to be Zero. He plays the matchup to a point that I just... Like, I can beat him, but Jesus Christ. It was really hard. I would take a lot of L's with Zero Blast. So, reasons why. His Fireball game, he can actually, like, more or less play Fireball versus the Ryobendas. All well, zone it out. He can dash in, dash out, right? And he has his run. So, he can actually condition you in neutral. He can condition you to do a carpet because he's fireballing too often. So you're like, okay, let me carpet. But this is the problem. When he dashes in and he runs, I would want you to... if you're a Fang player who doubts on this matchup, I would want you to put a friend or try to record it. And I want you to put Fang to do a carpet. And I want you to be like 3/4 of the screen. And I want you to dash in and do the Fierce DP. And you will see that the recovery is that bad. The recovery is that bad that Ken will get that Fierce DP no matter what. He's going to get it. And that was something that it was hard. Like, you would see just Zero Blast with Ken would be like in and out, Fireball, Fireball, in and out. Okay, wait. Does Ryobenda, Fireball. Does Ryobenda? He'll condition you to do Ryobenda to cancel out Fireballs. And at some point, you do one Ryobenda wrong because you thought it was coming, and he dashed in, DP. Like, that's one. His normals, they're good. Target combo is really good at catching things with Fang. V-Trigger 2, Shinryuken, extremely good. As soon as he has that, can't do carpets. You can't do Nishikyus. The only thing I will do versus Ken, and this is because I play the matchup, right? I'll set up a space because there's a range where you can't do EX Ryobenda because the Shinryuken will catch you. But there's actually a range where you can do a cancel into EX Ryobenda. If he does the Shinryuken, it's not going to pull you in because you're in the air, but you're going out, right? So it's not going to pull you in. Hey, Flacco, what's up? So I feel that Ken is a bad matchup because of that. The Fierce DP, I invite everybody to try it. The Fierce DP is a real problem. Throw pressure, he's a 4-framer, but light DP, that's the other thing. When you do coward crouch, it's a risk, but god damn it, it makes a Fang player be scared. If you do stand jab after the coward crouch and he does a light DP, he goes under the... Same thing with Nekali. Nekali can literally be like, oh, Power crouch, light DP, whatever. Why? Because you have to commit to a crouch jab, and so you get a counter hit jab. You get the counter hit jab. What are you gonna get after that? Because for some reason the DP doesn't when you counter hit the DP, the character is not as close as you think. So you can't do counter hit, crouch jab, 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 fierce. For some reason it doesn't work on Necalli and on Ken. The pushback is different. So you have to commit the crouching jab into stand medium kick. Or crouch jab, like it's a risk, right? You can bait it, you can just like block, but I mean you're in a +2 situation and you have to resort to a block. Power crouch. Like you really can't feel confident in your turns when it comes to Ken, you know? Because he can light DP whenever. And it will eventually at times like fuck you over. Tatsu, EX Tatsu. There are certain ranges where if you do a carpet, you can EX Tatsu. So honestly, those are many of the reasons why I think this matchup is bad. I would like for people to like roundhouse his crouch roundhouse. Oh my god. Ken's crouch roundhouse, sometimes when you're neutraling with Ryobenda, or if you do like a string, crouch roundhouse, crush counter for certain. No problem. So, because that roundhouse is really good. When you can't really commit to the Nishikyus, and sometimes on reaction, if he sees a Nishikyu mid-screen, he can run underneath it and grab you, or do fierce DP. Like, there's so many things he can do. Jump in Tatsu, it beats up your anti-air sometimes. Medium Tatsu, I think. It beats up a lot of your attempts. I don't know, it's a bad matchup. Necalli, I'm still debating on whether it's bad or slightly bad. Ever since I got V-Skill 2, I will admit that I feel that FANG has a good yeah, it does. It trades Ryobenda, but it's a crush counter. Some cases, not always. But like Necalli, I don't know, slight indecisive. V-Skill 2 actually is a V-Skill I prefer in this matchup, to be honest. Because I don't like dealing with the stomp pressure, and sometimes when he's doing that dive kick or that jump roundhouse, because that's one thing with Necalli. If he does far range jump roundhouse, you can't crouch him medium kick, you can't crouch fierce it. You have to stand medium kick, or if you have the parry, you can parry it, which is a good option. So that's why I prefer to use the parry on him. The same reason I use the parry on Kage. Same thing with the counter crouch. Light DP, he can do it. It goes under the stand jab. So you have to commit to doing a crouch jab and committing to less damage. V-Skill. The Cali V-Skill. Can't zone. You can't carpet, because as soon as you carpet, knockdown goes right in. If you do Nishikyus, he can do the Disc of Guidance. He'll armor through one of the hits and he'll hit you. He can dash in easily when he's in V-Trigger. You're a 4-framer. You have to deal with a lot of his stuff. He has a dive kick. That makes it worse. Now his EX stomps are +2. I don't know. It's a bad matchup overall. Like, there are things you can do. Like, sometimes what I'll do is, in that matchup, I'll do Ryobenda, and then I'll do Crouch Strong. The Crouch Strong will place me right in the Ryobenda. And you can do Nishikyus, and if he does V-Skill, the V-Skill is going to cancel out with the Ryobenda. So you get a free Nishikyu. But still, it's specific things that you're not going to rely on the whole matchup. So, okay. Ryu, I know some Ryu players disagree. Other Ryu players agree. Man, I know, Metal Career. We're almost done. I wish you could stay, but we're almost done. Ryu is an uncomfortable matchup. Okay, Ryu, I'm not sure. Like, I feel Ken is worse than Ryu. So I kind of would put Ryu in slight disadvantage or bad. Ryu has really good zoning with the fireball. Like, you can't, like, his fireball game's good. His Tatsus are good versus FANG. He can, I mean, once he's in V-Trigger, his new V-Trigger 1 is really good. The fact that he has the parry, it's not really a big thing, but what can I say about like Ryu's approach? EX Fireball is really good. Stand roundhouse, if you time it well. Stand medium kick versus Ryobendas, they're pretty good as well. His jump Tatsu is a problem. Jump short is still sometimes a problem versus Fang. He deals a lot of damage. That's a lot. That's true. He has a 3 frame, so when you do the roundhouse, there's a bait you can do, like, right? Like if you do close roundhouse and he does the jab, you'll trade, right? But if you do like slightly farther stand roundhouse with Fang and you do it again and he does the jab's gonna whiff and the roundhouse. Like there's a specific range where you can set up the roundhouse and then do it again. Same thing goes versus Jury. Range where you can actually do it. If she does the jab, you do roundhouse, that's it. But yeah, Ryu is pretty bad. Rashid will always be a matchup love to hate. He gets to jump as many times as he wants. EX Eagle Spike. He doesn't even have to be in the air. Like literally, you could be doing a Ryobenda on the ground and he can do instant EX Eagle Spike for free. V skill 1, you can't Ryobenda because V skill 1's gonna clip you. If he by chance trades with your Ryobenda, right? If he trades, he gets another V skill. So you're giving him V meter and taking damage, right? So it's like, oh, Ryobenda, V skill. Oh, it hit, V skill. He can sometimes even do like Eagle Spike, I think. Mixer. He can punish V skill 1. He can punish it by just random mixer. Really don't have an answer for random mixers. So that's another one. His jumps are really good. He has a wall jump that it's hard, even with the buff, even with the jump strong buff. You can chase him down. You know he's gonna jump. And he'll still go over. He'll still go over. You couldn't see that because obviously camera can't. But he'll still go over the jump strong. So it's like it's really hard. Oh my god. Crossover TV. Thank you, Crossover, for the raid. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it, man. Very good Seth player. Godlike Akuma player. Always showing a lot of love. If Crossover is by chance watching this, I really hope he can like fill in on a few things that he thinks on the matchups. You pretty much can't use anything versus Rashid. It's ridiculous. Like every Rashid player tells you Rashid wins. Every Fang player is gonna tell you Fang loses. Legit. There's not many things you can do. EX Whirlwind shot. Everybody can jump it now. It doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal in the matchup, but he just has stand fierce, crouch fierce. They're good normals. Sometimes he can just buffer it and it'll beat out Fang's normals. Stand short. He has a 3 frame. His stand jab. If you do a Ryobenda string in his face, he can stand jab Eagle Spike, light Eagle Spike. Yeah, man. Thanks for the support. Really appreciate it, Crossover. Really appreciate it. Give us some intel. What do you think about this matchup chart? Is there anything you disagree with? Okay, we were talking about Rashid. Rashid is bad. Jury's bad. Jury's bad, and she's been bad ever since she came out in the game. She's been bad for Fang ever since she came out of the game. Her V skill is the main problem. Her V skill is the main problem. She'll charge it up. As soon as he charges up, you can't V skill. You cannot V skill your fastest recovering zoning normal. You can't use it. You can't use it at all. She's gonna easily do the V skill. Ryobenda, no reason. Nishikyu, V skill. Like as soon as she has V skill, which is easy, it's easy for her to have a V skill constantly because she has a really good backdash. Her V skill, she can dash cancel it. Her projectile is pretty good. Her stand, I think it's stand medium kick, right? Stand medium kick, she can buffer the hell out of that move. Like she can buffer it constantly within strings. You can never be confident with Fang on your strings because of that move. Like her stand medium kick, she'll buffer it into Jaguar, she'll buffer it into whatever, and it's usually going to beat you out. If you throw tech versus Jury, do not press a button. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Save yourself the damage. Don't do it. She has a 3 frame jab. Her jump ins, relatively good, good angles. She has her EX, her DP is really good versus Fang. She has moves that go over carpet, relatively in the neutral. But she doesn't need to do that because she has V-Skill. So, like, she just has those added things that they're good, but she really doesn't need them because she has enough good things as is. So, that's what I think. So, Yuri is a bad matchup overall. What else can I add to that matchup? She has good reversal. She has good reversal versus Fang. Her backdash is really good. Her jumps are relatively good. Her pressure and her damage are good. And as soon as she has V skill, you can't play Fang. Can't play him. Can't play your style. You think Zeku beats Fang and Colleen? I mean, young Zeku beats Fang. Young Zeku, and it's not by a lot. Like, obviously he has the. Oh, by the way, Entede beat both. Like, I have no idea. Painted Bofe. Please tell me where you're from, so I know. But thanks for the follow. So okay, let's go back to this matchup, right? So yeah, that's bad. So yeah, Jury's a bad matchup. Period. Now we go to the last one. Loses horribly. I guess I could try to say this, but no, she'll always be the worst. She'll always be the worst matchup Fang had, no matter what she. She'll always be the worst match. I am so mad that Vega was not in this. Like, I thought I had all the characters, and then when I was going to go to Vega, I don't find them. So I don't know what the hell happened. Oh, because this was a Vega matchup chart. No. Now I know. Now I know why we fucked up. Now I know why we fucked up. It says Vega on the bottom. Can I change it? Oh. Anyways, let's say. Nah, forget it. I know what it says. I'll fix this and I'll post it up later. I'll just screenshot this one. Okay. So. Okay. Cammy. Why is Cammy bad? You have to eat buffet to know what's good in life. Oh, you're from DR. Okay. Okay, whiff. Okay. Cammy. Why is Cammy bad? This is simple and it's pretty straightforward. Cammy has an answer to pretty much all of the things Fang has. Okay, Cannon Drill. Cannon Drill is the best move in this matchup. If the Cammy is literally just the same thing I say with Dhalsim. If Cammy is just playing reactively, you can't really do much. If you do V-Skill, she can punish with Cannon Drill. If you do Carpet, she can punish Carpet on startup with Cannon Drill. At worst, she'll trade. At best, she beats you clean. Nishikyu, not even an option. She can Cannon Drill as well. So your 3 grounded options, including Sotoya on block, she can instantly Cannon Drill. Light Cannon Drill, medium Cannon Drill, doesn't matter. So the ground is already taken. The air. Fang is a character that depends on his anti-airs, right? To keep people off. Many of the pressure that he keeps off is because of his successful anti-air game. Cammy does not care about his anti-air game. Why? Because she has dive kicks. She has dive kicks that she can do at any type of angle. EX dive kick is impossible to deal or react. And you know what? That's one of my main gripes. V-Skill 2. Fang's V-Skill 2 should be able to parry everything. EX, V-Reversal, maybe not supers, but it should be able to parry EX because I hate the fact that we have parries that literally have no animation, just this, and do not commit to anything else, to not another animation. And they are able to parry EX moves. Yet Fang does a full dance. A full dance, right? And he can and he commits to a huge recovery. Yet he cannot parry EX move. So I don't know. I don't know. That really gets me mad. That sense. The other thing, carpets, right? There are a lot of characters that if you do carpets block, you're -9. You're -9 when you do carpet. But the spacing behind it, Cammy does it like other characters. Like, okay, even if they block it point blank, there are characters that will not reach. The pushback doesn't let them do anything, right? Cammy does not have to worry. As soon as she blocks the Rivenda, no matter what, it's a free fear to cannon drill. You cannot carpet on her. Close range, you cannot. Thanks for the follow. If frozen. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, I'm trying to get the names out because my notifications aren't coming up on the stream, so I don't know what's. I fixed my computer not too long ago, so I haven't really set up the stream well, but I just want to start today. So we're doing that. Another follow, Jesus. You guys are pumped. Fanny XR. Fenixerd. Play Guilty Gear XR, just saying. But okay, we talked about the cannon drill. We talked about the dive kicks. V-trigger, you can actually parry. With V-skill 2, you can parry Cammy's V-trigger dive kick. That's the only reason that I in that matchup in particular, I will always go V-skill 2. Always. Because you can jump back short, right? You can jump back short on V-trigger drill and it works. It always works. But there are ranges where you can't. And those ranges where you cannot, and the Cammy knows it, are perfect for parry. So the parry actually doesn't let her get in for free when she's in trigger. Can't get in for free. So that's good. Overall, man, like EX drill. Okay. Let's say they're not reacting. EX drill is extremely good. Her V skill, you can punish it. You can punish her V skill with crouch strong, always. But her EX drill is extremely good. EX drill, you do a carpet, EX drill goes right through. You do Nishikyu, EX drill, and if she's in the corner, at any point, EX drill, I get out. I'm out of the corner. If she has you in the corner, her throw game, even after all the nerfs on her throw loop, she will still get 2 to 3 throws easily because her walk speed is really good. Her walk speed is good, and the pressure of the fierce, and her anti-air. She has a DP. You have to respect the DP. EX DP is ridiculous, and her regular DP. You can do a Ryobenda in zoning, and she can do what Ken does. She can dash up DP. Like if she didn't react in time with the cannon drill, she can dash up DP and punish your Ryobenda. So she just doesn't have to. It's not. You know what? You know, I said earlier that matchups that make you play differently are matchups that make you play uncomfortable are bad matchups. That make you change the general playstyle of your character are bad matchups. But Cammy is like, I can actually play differently for fun, and I can win. That's why Cammy in the matchup versus Fang, she's so good. And this is the thing, she's been nerfed so many times. And Fang has been buffed every single time. But it's like I said, the buffs that Fang needs, they haven't given. I still am asking Capcom, to you I tell you, Capcom, look at me. Let me just make sure the camera's looking. Right here. Capcom. Just for the last season. One request. Give me crouching jab into EX Sotoya. Just give me that. That's all I want. Give me a consistent light confirm into a knockdown. Let me spend the meter. I'll spend it. I'll spend the cash, right? But give me that, because light jab, crouch jab into light Ryobenda is not enough, because at max range, or not even max range, at mid range, it doesn't combo. And they block and it's -10 or -11 or -12. I don't know. It's minus a lot. I have to be this. I have to be point blank at the person. I have to be like this to get the full punish on the light Ryobenda. Please give him that and buff B skill 2 and revert V trigger 1. All I'm asking. All I'm asking. Okay, rant is over. The rant is over. But honestly, that's all I want. Capcom, please. So, okay, Vega is not here because this is a Vega. Where can I download this? It's the first time I did this. So anyway, let me screen. How can I change the? Oh, so no wonder it's his tier list. It's just, you know what? I don't know how this. No wonder. Okay, I'm gonna do this again, and I'm gonna post it up. That's why, because it's just I posted the link like I've never done this whole tier thing stuff. I'm sorry, I've never done it. This is the first time I was doing it, so I really didn't know. So I just put it on Google, and I got this chart, and I'm like, okay. And now I realize it's a Vega chart. No wonder Vega's 9. But I'm gonna explain Vega in the end. I explained it a little, but okay, Vega. I think Vega is. I think Vega's even. Maybe a slight disadvantage. I'm still unsure on that one. Vega has really good normals versus Fang, but Fang can contest. Vega's jump, medium, kick, max range is a problem for Fang. Problem because you can't anti-air it. You have to commit. Is Barcelona? Barcelonas are good, but you like can't try to contest with the Barcelona. What I try to do is I just try to avoid it. Like I'll backdash, and as soon as the Barcelona is about to hit, I'll command dash heavy. I'd rather reset the neutral rather than trying to beat it and get clipped by it. So that's what I think. But overall, I mean, Vega's a 3-frame, right? I feel like, yeah, Vega might have a slight advantage, but it's not a lot. Like I'm saying, it's not a 5.5. It's a 5.2, 5.1 at least, because he has a 3-frame. That's what he has. And he has a wall jump. He has really good jumps. But that's about it, you know? That's all I think. I think Vega is either even or slight disadvantage. But I think that these matchups, people might disagree with favorable and slightly favorable, maybe. But in slight disadvantage and losses, I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. I feel that this is just. I did the stream because honestly, there's not like. I know a lot of people put tier lists, but I'd rather do a video because I would like to have you guys hear me saying why I think these matchups are bad. And why and what scenarios make me think that they're bad or worse or they're favorable. Like that's what I like to share this because I feel like you watching a chart but not having context, it's like okay, so Fang, what if you don't know that Fang beats Abigail? You'd be like, okay, Fang beats Abigail, but why? How? What does Fang do? You know, like I don't want that to be all the information you get. So, with that's said and done. This is my Fang chart. I will update it with Vega and put him in, and I'll post it up on Twitter. And nothing. Thank you to everybody that tuned in for the stream. I might actually stream some Dragon Ball after this. On Thursday, I'm going to stream again. On Thursday, I will talk about the different playstyles of Fang. And I will also be talking a bit about frame data, but in Spanish because it's for the PR community. I want to do like a stream to help explain a few things because I'm really trying to get buff the scene. Also, First Attack 2020. It's online. It's a full month event, and there's a bunch of prizes. Street Fighter. A lot of you are Street Fighter players. Street Fighter has $500 prize pool in Matcherino, so it can still go up. United States East Coast is eligible to compete at the event. Dominican Republic, Panama, Honduras, El Salvador, Costa Rica, and Mexico. and Nicaragua, Uruguay. I'm missing somebody, but you can check it on the Smash GG. So if you guys are interested, feel free to register. It's only $5 for the competitor registration. All of the games are free. So you only pay $5. You only pay $5, and you can register to whatever you want. Even got Apex Legends. We got Tekken 7. We got everything. But anyways, I'm running on. So I will leave you guys with that. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Diminion, thank you for the extra input. Mortzy, Metal Gear Solid had a lot of good things to say in regards to matchups, especially in the Manat one. So I'm gonna give him some props on the input with that. Crossover, thank you for the raid. Really appreciate it. And Ceroto, obviously, always Ceroto pushing things for the fan community in the Discord and everything. Have been the people that have done a lot of the stuff. Like follow him, because every time the FANG Discord is having any type of campaign or anything, he's one of the people pushing a lot for it. So big ups to all of them. Havoc, thank you for showing up. Demon Dan, really appreciate it as well. You guys are the homies, and everybody who followed me tonight, appreciate it as well. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys on Thursday around the same time, maybe earlier. Around the same time, but maybe. So, peace. I really appreciate you. Thank you. And... oh, there you go.